So, hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is Tuesday, and I got looking forward to having a fun time streaming today. Just gonna keep working on this great fun illustration that I've been working on. And yeah, I'm answering any questions you guys have about anything really. This is kind of like my last week. That I'll be streaming regularly day to day, and then I'll be moving over to a schedule of streaming Friday nights. So this is your chance. If you guys have any questions, questions on drawing, questions on working animation, send them my way. Shoot them towards me. I'm gonna be just kind of working around here, kind of just taking it easy. I start a new job on Monday, doing storyboards on a new show that's being produced, that I'm excited to be working on. It looks like we got some people in the chat already. Hey, what's going on, Pickle Nick and Caretoons? Great to see you guys. Awesome to have you in here. How's your Tuesday going, guys? I wish I had more to talk about. I'm just kind of cruising today. Just enjoying myself. Keeping it chill. Working on. I think this was a big illustration I did. Excuse me. Where I drew everyone in the audience based off their screen names, and I can't remember whose screen name was which because I took a very liberal association. I think this was Electrical Longboard or something like that. I don't know who's in the chat today. Is Electrical Longboard in the chat? No, they're not in the chat today. That's okay. But I'm gonna keep working here. I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing. But yeah, if you guys let me know if you have any questions, I'll keep prompting that. Thank you, Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick bringing the bits. Let's bring Das Pur out to make him dance. There we go. All right, it's looking good. So here, right now, I'm just kind of going through and cleaning up this sketch. I don't sure if I'm liking the way this fan looks, so I might get some reference for that. But I'm gonna keep working on the surfer guy. And this was a sketch of our new dog. There he is. There's Leo. I kind of like this sketch. So you know what? I'll keep that layer separate, and I'll just delete these legs. I'm just kind of going through and inking. Having a good time. What's going on with you guys? Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick says you're a Pickle Saint Nick. That's right. You're in another layer. I've blocked out all the other layers right now, but I will get to Pickle Saint Nick eventually at some point. But yeah, let me just keep working here. Yesterday was the big was kind of like the whole story about what happened, and it was, like I said, it was a tense, crazy situation, as what tends to be. I know, like, finding and getting work in animation is almost an art form in itself. It's like there's no right or wrong way of doing it, really. A lot of it's based on a lot of different factors that can go into finding work. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. It just happens, and that's why kind of figuring out stuff to do in when you're not busy is important. That's why I know a lot of animators have like side gigs they do. Maybe they have projects that they do on their own, and a lot of it is for creative outlet, but a lot of it also too, I think, is for just to be busy, to keep working, to keep being to keep that passion alive. That really helps. Let's see here. Oh, Caretoon says, just heard Nickelodeon's following Warner Brothers lead and halting production on a new show of theirs. Oh my goodness. Oh, Nickelodeon. See here, the link that Caretoon shared. Let me bring that up over here, and let me take a look. Let's see here. Update. Let's see here. This is on their premiere of Glitch Techs in 2019 halts production on season 2. Oh, this show. I've seen job posts for this show for a long time. I think they've been in development for a while. I'm surprised. Let's see here. Let's see. So I would say update. Production crew are reporting on social media that Nickelodeon today, and this was from Nick Alive, their own blog spot, that unfortunately halted production on Glitch Techs. The crew were in the midst of production of season 2. However, as the show is yet to premiere, Nickelodeon wants to air the show before spending more money on it, even if that means losing the whole crew. Evan Palmer, who broke the news on Twitter, stressed that the show has not been canceled at this point, just that production has been halted. It has also been revealed that the first season is nearly complete and is set to air during 2019. Following the news, breaking production crew working on Glitch Techs paid tribute to the show on social media. A selection of posts can be read below. Wow. That's... Wow. That's rough. That's so rough. It looked like, oh boy, like if you're watching this video on my YouTube, I'll put a link in the doobly doo, as it's so called, to this article so that you guys can have a chance to read it. That's so sad. That's the rough. It sucks. That's rough. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to read the article. If there's any indication on why they're going this way or what they're doing with it. It's hard to say. Let's see here. Is an adventure comedy. Multi-ethnic cast. Let's see here. They had T-shirts. They had a whole bunch of different stuff. It looks like this whole blog has just all been about Glitch Techs, and the recent one was from today. So it's just that it's done. Oh, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything about why. Yeah, that's rough. I wish I could say more. I wish I could offer more. I wish I could offer more, but yeah, that's the rough of it. It happens like a lot. Like you'll be, you can be working in a show. It happened with us for Yabba Dabba. We got to work there for a year, and then just before the holidays, we found out that Yabba Dabba was getting killed, was shutting down, along with 2 other shows at Warner Brothers. There wasn't much sense in the reasoning. It happens. As I've said before, you can't. It's stuff that you can't take personally, because that's not going to help anything. You can't take things like that personally. But sadly, saying "oh, don't take it personally" is not very comforting. Sadly, it's not very comforting. Especially if you're, facing, unemployment, what your bills are. God, that sucks. I don't know what to say. Money talks, no money, no show. That's usually the simplified thing. What I don't know. I hate to think that it just comes down to just like that. I hope. Because, I don't know, there's something about just taking numbers at face value that I think devalues things that can't be. I don't know. This could be me getting off on a large tangent. But I'm not the head of a large multi-billion-dollar media company. So what do I know? That would just be me playing armchair quarterback. I'm only the head of a small media company. Our own company. But yeah, that sucks. I don't even know anyone working on that show, and I just feel bad because it's just like it's rough news. I know having Caretoons and I we've worked on for a lot of different studios in games, on a lot of different things, and it's like there's a heaviness that just hangs in the air. There's just a heaviness that hangs in the air as when that word comes down that, oh, this game is done, or the studio is closing, or there's no money left at this job. It's like whatever the reason, or we're just laying you off because that's it. Yeah, that's so rough. Cartoon says a lot of things are changing with streaming and Netflix making a big push for productions. It's hard to say are the big studios panicking. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. Like, there's lots of. Cartoons is right. There's lots of changes going on. One of the big things that happened, recently. Netflix is making animation. They're opening up their own animation studio, and there was a online push for submit to Netflix, and I know I contacted a recruiter from Netflix, and they have their own internal things that are going on. I haven't heard much about what they're producing, mostly because I just haven't paid attention to the news about that. I've been so focused on other things. But yeah, streaming's changing everything. It's yeah, it's like I don't know. It's hard to say what's going through the heads of these studios. For Warner Brothers, they got bought out by AT&T, and it was AT&T that shuttered their streaming productions that they were doing, which like I said, which I've said, it was a weird decision because I thought Warner Brothers had a good idea. They were producing content, which seemed like a smart thing because content is becoming king. You want to have fresh new content for your streaming platforms. And then to kill content that you own, I don't know. That's another long discussion. Let's see here. Netflix. Cartoon says Netflix is building a big new office building in Hollywood, right down in Hollywood. That's a ballsy move right there. Cartoon says plunk down your new office building in an entirely popular and expensive area. Power move. Yeah, very much so. I think. What was it? A year or two ago, they announced that they were moving a lot of productions to Los Angeles, and immediately, a lot of eyes and ears perked up, like, oh, because it's not cheap to film here, but this is where a lot of the talent is and a lot of the know-how is, and if you want to pick up somebody that knows what they're doing and has the skill and has the talent, this is the market to look for it. This is where a lot of the big directors are, talent is, and to just say, hey, we're the new up and coming production studio and we're producing in LA. Yeah, that's a power move. That's huge. It shows something. I don't know. I can't read their mind. But it's huge, and they're definitely making waves. Some of the shows that are still producing. Warner Brothers is still producing that new Animaniacs, which is all going to be for Hulu. It's all going to be for Hulu. We gotta see what's going to happen. What's going on in the industry. If you're looking to get into the industry, pay attention to the news right now. There's a whole new avenue. It's I remember things are changing so quickly. I remember when Cartoons and I were in school. There were teachers there that had really good advice. They had some good advice as far as how to what to produce or how to get the story done, or sometimes some good advice on art. But it seems like a lot of the stuff that we learned in school, I don't know, I almost don't use because things change so quickly. A lot of the jobs that I did right out of college didn't even exist when I was in school. Cartoon says when we were in school in the Stone Age. Yeah, back in the early 2000s, back in the bygone era. like oh my goodness, all these they were outdated techniques that weren't even being used anymore. Flash or Animate, which is a huge program that I've used very successfully for a lot of jobs, for a lot of projects, was treated as a web, just a web only. We learned how to make websites on that in school. And I'm not saying this stuff to knock schools, because if my kids today ask me to go to school or not, I would definitely tell them yes, go to school, because there's a lot of like I said, there's value to things that can't be represented on a spreadsheet and that aren't automatically easily visible. And so I would still recommend going to school, because there's there's relationships, there's things that you can gain from that experience. But I mean, as far as just what we were learning, it was stuff, and I don't think they meant to. It was just that it's not like they were trying to teach us garbage or doing this for nefarious reasons. I think all the teachers that we had wanted to teach us good things, but it was just everything was changing. Like, we were right on the precipice of things happening. I mean, when did Netflix start streaming? What was that, like 2009, 2010? I don't know the date off the top of my head, but YouTube hit big. I mean, before, when we were in school, there was no mass distribution network like that. I mean, you had to make a website, and like Homestar Runner was the big thing that was out there. But even that's old news. There's been so many things that have changed in this industry, and it keeps changing. New software gets developed, new tools, new ways. I mean, when we were going to school, everyone was like, 2D is dead, and 3D CGI is the way to go. And nowadays, it's like, no. I mean, some of the biggest cartoons. I mean, yeah, there's big CG 3D movies that are hitting big, but TV 2D still seems like it's king. I mean, you get both. There's both now going on. 2D is easier and cheaper to produce. Animate and Toon Boom are creating pipelines that are easier to have it all in one software. I mean, you don't have to have different, departments operating in different cages or anything like that anymore. It's all done in one program. Or you can have with Animate, everything can be done in Animate. That's what we were doing on Yabba Dabba. That's what they do it on Teen Titans. It's all done in Animate. I'm sure they use other tools, maybe for editing and other parts of it. For most of it, all of it is done one program, one or two programs, and that keeps costs and time and all that stuff down. And it's tools. We're using tools, that were just kind of showing up. I mean, I'm on a Cintiq monitor, which was barely a thing. When we were in school, they were like the big new shiny thing. Now they've got ones that are portable. I just saw a thing this morning about a brand new Cintiq that's for amateurs and not for professionals. I mean, it's like things change all the time, and you have to adapt to them, and that's the challenge of working in this industry, working in any industry nowadays. I mean, technology is making leaps and bounds, and it's changing lots of stuff. I mean, I'm on one of the subcommittees for our animation guild for storyboards, and I mean, we're dealing, and one of the things we're doing is we're trying to just kind of figure out what the jobs are that we're doing, and going through the old contract. There's so many outdated terms that nobody even knows what they are. There's one that says production board artist, and that seems to apply to some of the stuff we're doing, but just because of the technology, it's always changing, and you have to stay on it. You have to keep you gotta keep paying attention. You gotta keep being busy. You can't. It's easy to just want to throw your hands up and say, I think we're good. We did a good job, and walk away. But it's dynamic. It's it's changing. It's it's you got to pay attention to it. Otherwise, you're gonna get left behind, and it's sad. We don't have, it's sad that happens, and it's rough. But that's the reality of it. You can't ignore reality for too long, otherwise it catches up to you. um, it catches up to you. You can't. Yeah, you gotta keep rolling with it. You gotta keep up on things. Um, that's just like I said. That's kind of like that's the. It's definitely more and more prevalent today than I don't know. I mean, I'm only 36 years old, so I'm saying, as far as I know, in my limited experience on this planet, but I'm sure that's always been a thing. But I don't know. There definitely seems to be a sense that it's speeding up, but I don't know. I mean, like that. I'm just talking from my perspective, and yeah, it's tough out there, and you can't really just blame. I mean, it's you can't it's stupid to blame someone just like, well, they just didn't keep up. It's hard. There's a lot to keep up. I'm behind on lots of things. I mean, there's so many new things out there that are popping up that I don't even know about, and it's like, you know what, I kind of just it's stressful, and I'm just trying to keep up with what I can. I mean, I know they added some new awesome cool things to animate, and I haven't even tried them yet. And I love anime. I love working in the program, and I haven't tried them out yet. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard keeping it all together. But also at the same time, with the right mindset, you could find that stimulating. Because as I've said before, just because something's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. And a lot of times, just trying, it goes a long way. Just trying to keep up, just the effort of doing that is better than just rolling over and giving up. That's the worst thing you can do. Adapting, changing, doing something is best, but just rolling over and giving up, that's not going to do you any good. Hey, what's going on, Zomont? What's going on? Welcome back. Good to see you again. How is it going? You just missed my my big my soapboxing. I got soapboxing again. Soapboxing up like I know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see here. I've got that going on. Let's merge these two layers. All right, so now I'm gonna draw. I've got this surfer guy going on here, and you know what? Let's indicate. Let's give him a little more. Let's kind of indicate a little more like a curve here. Like we get a little bit of his butt going on. There we go. Now I'm going to draw in all the electrical stuff. And let's give him some fun little extra details. Like let's give him some curly chest hair. I'm trying to think back to all these like surfer dudes because I'm from San Diego, and like you grow up in San Diego, and there's like a ton of surfer guys down there. Just not just surfer guys, just surfers in general. And these guys like they always have like the little bit of scruff, a little bit of like some chest hair, and they're always just like they're great characters to look at. Let's see here. Zomont. Zomont says soapboxing is good and clean info. Awesome. Glad you approve. Let's see here. Zomont says, I heard you had a big announcement yesterday. Couldn't catch it since I had to stream yourself. Hey, well, I guess that's a good reason. Yeah, well, I don't. You definitely have to watch that video. It's up on my YouTube channel. Which there should be a link there should be a link on my dashboard. So go check out my YouTube channel. But basically, to sum up, I got a new job. I am going to be working at Bento Box, and I'm doing storyboards on a new show over there. And I can't say any more details about it because it's brand new. But it's super funny. Like I had a great time doing this storyboard, and there was a whole long story about me and another studio. This was if you remember back before the new year, back before Christmas, I was talking about another job. Well, this isn't the same job. This isn't the same job. I got another job, and so it made for a fun story to tell. So definitely check out that video on my YouTube channel. And but as a treat, as Caratoons is reminding me, over the weekend, Caratoons and we got a new dog. Sadly, our dog Sally passed away back in early December. And if anyone remembers my older streams, Sally was definitely a huge influence on Caratoons and she still is. She's still living with us. She has been the inspiration for our studio name, Chubby Beagle Productions, which is Caratoons and newly formed company, and she's still with us, and she is still the inspiration behind Winston, Plum's happy-go-lucky dog. But let me see if I can get Leo real quick, because I think you guys got to meet Leo again, because there's people here who weren't here yesterday. I should go get Leo. So I'll be right back. I'll go get him. Right back. Leo? Where'd you go? Oh, here you are. Oh, you got your puppy, too. Oh, okay. Come here. Come here. You got some fuzzy hair. Come here. Come here. All right, I've got him right here. So this is Leo, and let me move the microphone a little bit. Oh, he does not want to. He does not want to be up and near me. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. There's the licking. There's the licking. This is Leo, and this is Leo, and he is quite a mystery. Yesterday, and today he has been now snatching tiny stuffed animals from the kids and has been putting them in his bed. And we're still trying to figure this dog out. He's got some weird perks, weird quirks. And we're still learning about him. But yeah, this is Leo. This is our new puppy. He's super adorable. He's super friendly. He's great with the kids, and we just love him to pieces. Yes, we do. All right, I'll let you get back to your work. He was busy. He had one of the stuffed animals, and he was putting it in his bed. I think making a collection. All right, Leo, you ready to get down? Oh, that's what, like 3 or 4 times he licked me in my mouth? Yes. You're such a good dog. You're such a good dog. All right. All right. All right. Say goodbye, Leo. Goodbye. All right. Oh. There you go. All right. All right. And off he goes. And there he goes. Yep. So that's Caratoons and new dog Leo. That was Leo, and he is just adorable. We're getting to know him, and like I said, there's some things about him. He's part beagle, and so it makes sense. There's some things about him that remind us of Sally. He's got a similar smile and similar face, but there's some personality quirks that are definitely different, and so we're definitely learning about him. And he's learning about us. He was a rescue dog that we got here from the LA Animal Shelter. And he's just adorable. Just such a good dog. Pickle Neck asks, how did you come up with Leo? Well, it started with that was the name he had when we adopted him. He came with the name Leo, although he doesn't really come to it, which opens possibly maybe we could give him a new name, but I don't know. He's hard to like I said, he sometimes comes to it. Like I don't, but a lot of times, I think because he's getting used to us, because he was a dog that was just basically abandoned by his previous owner, and I think he's still trying to figure out that we're his new owners now, and he's part of our family now. There's been a couple times where I've let him out, and he's gone and adorably pawed at the. Oh my goodness, he just came in bringing me a toy. Yes, hello. Hello. So yeah, his past is still a mystery. His past is definitely a mystery. Let's see here. Zoma, that's great. Super congrats on the new doggo, and I'm super happy that you and Caretoons are pushing that production flow and getting higher and higher on the goals. Thank you so much, Zoma. Yeah, we're excited. I just sent off the artwork and stuff for the last freelance video we did for our client, and he's super happy that worked with us. And hopefully, I need to get in touch with him or set up a phone call this week because he's got more animation projects for us. So that can be the Chubby Beetle Productions is starting off right off the bat with some animation production. And it's with a fun client and some really cool things. So we're excited. There's a lot of cool things happening in 2019. Caretoons is up looking for a new job. She is putting together a new website. Caretoons. Whoops. Did I hit something? I hit something. Oh, I think I made my windows go away. As I said, Caretoons is looking for work, and she is updating her website, and we're trying to get the word out that she's available for work as well. And Caretoons is an amazing animator, and she's the CEO of our production company, and she's my wife, and I love her, and maybe I'm a little bit biased. But she does some amazing work. So if you're looking for animation talent and you're watching this, if you're watching this on my live stream or you're watching this on YouTube, check out her website at www.karetoons.com. She's looking for work. She's available for hire, and she's amazing. She does really good work. So check her out. And I need to get back to work on this drawing here. I've been sitting here flapping my gums about so much. I want to get back to work on this drawing. Let's see here. What layer is this? That's all the stubble and hair, and we'll keep that separate. What's this? That's the arm. And okay, let's use this layer. And I wanted to draw some like electrical appliances. So let's put like a toaster here and stuff. And if anyone who has watched this before, if you don't know, my inking style is I kind of, I draw my sketch really loose, and then I'll kind of go back in and really come in with the details when I ink. And I like doing that because it helps me keep the drawing fresh. Because I'm not just tracing what's there. I'm redrawing it. And two, I can kind of go through and fix things that, maybe I didn't really like about the first drawing, the sketch, reorientate things, do different versions on it. And it's become an inking, at least an inking policy or practice for me that really has been working. Because, like I said, I like keeping energy and in my work. I like keeping it feeling fresh and keeping it, feeling exciting. Let's see here. Free 67 says contact Uncle Mike Milo. That's right. His office is like right across, almost right across from where Caretoons is sitting. That's actually, an interesting topic because there's a lot to be said about, word of mouth, in the industry. And, the job that I got, was through, just a recommendation. I got the job because of the test I did, and they liked the work on my test, but, they were sent, my name was sent to them through a friend that was working on another production at Warner Brothers, and he knew I was looking, and he said, "Oh, well, hey, you know what? I have a friend that's a producer on this show that's starting up, and they're looking for people, so I sent your stuff over," and that's how I got the test. And that's why, and that's once again, that's one of those value things, like that relationship, that word of mouth is valuable, and it has a value that um you can't like register. It doesn't have a number attached to but it's valuable. Um, and that's sort of things that you don't see on a spreadsheet. And again, that's me going on a rant about business again, business decisions. But that goes a long way, and you can't put a number on that, and it's important. It's like having an experienced worker versus a fresh worker, having a positive worker versus a negative worker. It's stuff like that. Piggleneck says networking is a must. Networking is important. It's almost bad to call it networking though. Networking makes it sound cold and sterile, and like I'm networking up a computer or something like that. Um, it's more like being noticed, being not noticed. Notice doesn't even work too. It's just you know, being I guess charismatic, being friendly, being being I guess charisma is the best word for it. But yeah, there's a lot of value that comes from being outgoing, being friendly, being fun, being a fun person that people remember, and also being a hard worker that people respect. That it's not schmoozing. Hey, what's up? By the way, what's up, Chaos Tune? Chaos Tune just said schmoozing. Schmoozing again, because schmoozing has that kind of like seedy connotation, like I'm just brown nosing your way through. It's not any of that. It's more, I mean, those are words for it. Those are synonyms, but it's more just like saying being friendly, being fun, being a person that people want to work with, being, people remember someone that they enjoy working with, and they want to bring you back on, or they want to recommend something for you because they're like, hey, I know you're going to do good, and they're fun, and yeah, it's super, super cool. Like I know a ton of people I would recommend in a heartbeat if, when the opportunity presents itself. And that's kind of, I'm probably sure that most other people working in animation or working in similar jobs where, word of mouth is important, have that. They have lists of people who they're like, you know what, I would recommend you in a heartbeat, and that recommendation goes a long way. And I mean, just sometimes having that right person know about you and know that you're looking for work, it goes a long way. You never know, and that's when things can change. And that's why getting work out there, if you're new to animation, and or this is something that you're learning, you're in school, getting your work out there, getting yourself out there. Don't just be a anonymous blip on a website. Be outgoing, be gregarious. You don't have to be, a big extroverted, crazy person, but just be friendly, be welcoming, be a person that you would want to meet, and that goes a long way. Yeah, Caratoon is exactly right. Be human, be human. If you're sad, be sad. If you're upset, be upset. And that stuff goes a long way. It definitely goes a long way. All that stuff is important, and you can't put a number value on that. And yeah, be natural. Just don't force it. Just, and that's where mindset comes in, because it's easier. It's not easy. It's easier to be a friendly, outgoing, awesome person when you feel like a friendly, cool, awesome person. If you're negative, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be all that, but it's if that's what you're putting out to the world, it's you're not going to get the positive things back. And it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. This isn't like, all you gotta do is say yes to everything, or it's not guaranteed, but it helps. It definitely helps. Let's see here. Chaos Tune says, which is a challenge in itself for some artists. A lot of artists I know would rather just sit in their cubicle all day than go home. And you know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. there is something to be said about there is something to be said about just getting out and just talking to people. Even if even if it's just like waving at someone as they pass your desk, or just saying hi to someone while you're getting coffee. That says a lot. It definitely says a lot. Cartoon says a lot of artists here just sit in their cubicles and aren't super outgoing, yet they have a chill energy. You see them in the kitchen, they do say hi. Exactly. I mean, if you're in a professional environment, you're there to work. I mean, no one's expecting you to be like throwing popcorn or like having a party every time. It's just little things like that. It's just little things, and it works. It helps. It really does. It really does help. And you find the groove that you're comfortable with. Find the things that do it so that you're happy. Don't force yourself, because that's being disingenuous. Like Cartoon said, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Be the self that, and just be human. That's the Cartoon said it perfectly. Be human. Be a human being. And that goes a long way. Pickle Nick says, just do it. I like to say, just Shia LaBeouf it. Just Shia LaBeouf that shit. All right, let's hear. Well, I'm trying to remember what this contraption that this guy's holding right here is. Was it like because he had a bunch, like, this is supposed to be a car battery. Let me draw a car battery here. Get some of this going here. Yeah, that's advice that I've given to people that I've done like portfolio reviews with. There is something to be said about just, being a friendly, positive person, being friendly, be someone that you want to work with, be proactive. Just, be a problem solver. There's a lot of art. There's a lot of art, and a lot of times on a production where it has nothing to do with how good you draw. No one really cares about that. Like you don't walk in and people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're an amazing artist," and people are like wooing over like how good you can draw. That almost never comes up. Like artistic skill, artistic merit, like people like don't font. It's not like sharing something on Instagram and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're an amazing artist." Like, people are really good artists. Everyone's a really good artist. Everyone has their own, art. Everyone has their own art background, except for Cartoons. Cartoons is constantly fawning. Like, no, there is fawning going on. And we, on Yabba Dabba, we worked with some really good artists, and there were some people doing some amazing things. But it's not so much like it's not. You'd be surprised. Like, even if you are a fanboy or a fangirl, you'd be surprised at how much it just doesn't happen, because most of the time you're trying to restrain yourself because you don't want to embarrass yourself, but also too just because it's a professional environment, and most of the time people are just busy, and people are working, and a lot of times the best working environments are where people are just their nose is in their monitor, they got headphones on, and they're just, quiet here. You can tell, I'm going super slow on this picture because I'm having fun talking with you guys. But there's not so much of that going on. Most of the time, everyone's very respectful. People come by, and they're very interested in seeing, what you're working on. Or a lot of times they're just like, hey, what's going on? And that's where, again, being a good human, being a decent person just comes in handy, because then it's like a lot of times, I remember going to lunches and we won't even talk about work. It's not like you're like, oh, what episode? There'd be like, oh, it's what episode are you guys working on? Oh, this is going on, this kind of going, that's great. And then we talk about stuff like movies or television shows, or how they were gonna gas us if we said the wrong things in the lunchroom. Or how ninjas were going to rappel down or something like that. We talk about stupid crap like that, and it was fun. And that's the kind of cool experience that any fun work environment will get you. And it just takes it takes a growth mindset and a positive outlook, mindset, and I think sometimes the fear, having that mindset is that like you're gonna get taken advantage of, and I don't think I think it's actually the opposite. I think it's actually I think you're less likely to get taken advantage of or worked over if you're keeping your head chill and you're having a good time. I think you're more apt to make better decisions in a mindset like that. And a lot of that comes from just being in a place where you're feeling confident about yourself and you're feeling good about yourself. There is a chance to become overconfident, but once again, overconfidence is more just less. I think overconfidence is just a problem that can be solved and overcome, like any problem. You just need to have that. Once again, having the mindset, having that growth mindset and that positive feeling, having that positive mindset will help you through it, and to help you make good decisions that will help benefit you better. It's one of the things that's one of the reasons why I love streaming when I can, because it helps me build up my positive mindset. It gets me excited. It gets me going. It works. It helps me. It really helps me. So there we go. That's why I do it. I feel like I'm just blabbing about a ton of stuff, man. Let's see here. Pickle Nick says, streaming really has its benefits because I just let one rip and you don't have to smell it. Oh, man, that stinks. Oh, that was awful. See, I mean, stuff like that. That's super fun. I love it. That's great stuff. All right, let's see here. What's this thing? This is gonna be like a computer tower, cause of course he's got a computer tower. Let's see if I can draw an accurate tower-looking thing here. You guys did it. You guys got me soapboxing again. You guys are becoming very good at soapboxing me. But then again, that's what I asked you guys to do. I said, hey, bring on the questions, get me soapboxing. This whole week is going to be all about soapboxing me. For anyone that didn't catch yesterday's stream, or hasn't caught it on YouTube yet, which you totally should. You should totally watch it on YouTube. My announcement also too, with the new job that I'm starting, next week, I'm going to be moving my streaming schedule from weekly or from daily on weekdays, every day at 11. I'm going to be changing that to every Friday night. Which probably means that, it might be more that this is turning into more of just a YouTube show that you guys are going to be catching. You might catch on the flip side of YouTube. Because I know a lot of people that are watching my stream are like either 3 hours away or in different time zones, which is totally fine. But one of the things I'm going to be trying to do more is getting definitely more interview shows where I want to get people on to interview and talk about their stories. Kind of like what I'm doing, but just kind of sharing their versions of like, what are the stories you have? Like, how is it that you got through this? Or, where did you go to school? Or did you go to school? What was your path? And how is it working in your industry? Because I've got a lot of friends that work in comics, that work in animation and other shows and stuff like that. And I'd love to bring them on and get their perspective, because I think stuff like getting that information out there is super important. It's great stuff to hear about, because it's stuff that you don't hear about, and getting that kind of perspective really helps you helps you feel confident about sometimes where you are, because a lot of times you can there's something about someone else's story that can ring with you, and you never know that that could inspire you. I mean, it was for me a big thing that helped was coming online and really meeting Mike Milo. I mean, he finding out about him and his career gave me, something resonated with me. I was like, wow, here's this guy who's been working for like 30, 50 years. This guy's doing it. You know what? It helped me. It helped, kind of like you watching his streams and getting to know him a little bit more. It's like, hey, this is something that can be done. I shouldn't give up. I don't know. 50 years. 50 years is probably long. I think I'm exaggerating. It might be more like 35 years or something like that. But he's definitely been in it for a long time. And he's worked on a lot. I mean, he was working on shows that I watched as a kid. I mean, so it's like he's definitely been. He's not that old, but he's been working for a long time. And you're gonna tell him. Cartoons is gonna tell him that I said that. Oh, I'm gonna get such a stern look from Mike next time I see him. He's not that old. No, he's not. But he's definitely he's had a good career. And it was really inspiring. And, I got to tell him that first time I talked with him over a live stream and stuff. And, he's a super cool guy. Like I said, super cool guy. Really awesome. Really awesome. I got to work a little bit with him when I started a test that he wanted me to do. I didn't get the test done because things happened. But it was interesting. I got a chance to kind of work with him a little bit, and it was cool to kind of like see how he does things, and yeah, it was amazing. It was a really cool experience. So that's what I hoped I want to get going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get an interview by next Friday, but I'll definitely be doing fun stuff, and again, be taking questions. If you have questions you want me to address on this on the live stream, and you can't get there, you can once again send it to me either by a YouTube comment or follow me on Instagram, send me a question there. I'll just be kind of doing stuff like this. I'll have much more to talk about during the time because I'll have a whole week instead of just a day. So it'll be an interesting change to the format, but that's, if you want to catch my live stream, that's when it'll be. I'm not quite sure what time on Friday, but I'll have that figured out. But it's not gonna be this Friday. This Friday I'll still be streaming at 11, but it's gonna be the following week. So it's gonna be, what is that, the 19th? I think the 19th, 18th or 19th is what I'll be streaming again, and that'll be later and stuff. Let's see here. What's going on in the chat? 367. Then he showed you his Emmy. He showed it to us in his last Adobe stream. Oh, awesome. Let's see here. Chaos Tune would be happy with just a little regional Emmy. Pickle Nick. My boss kind of annoyed me yesterday. I pitched an idea for a project, and he said, with very serious grandfatherly look, they said, we don't have time for cartoons. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, come on, man. It's cartoons, dude. Cartoons work for everything. Oh, my goodness. You know what? You could try tackling it from a business approach. One of the things that I teach a class on visual storytelling and cartoons and comics. And one of the things I'll tell students, because I don't get kids, I get like students of every age in that class because it's online. One of the things I'll tell them is that one of the uses that you have for comics and cartoons and storytelling is not just telling zany adventures or dropping an anvil on a silly cartoon. What's being discussed and what's being learned is visual communication. And if you want, you can see it in online videos. There's a lot. Cartoons worked on a bunch of videos for the Gavin Newsom campaign here in California. And one of the things that I hope smart, savvy businessmen are learning is that simplified ideas, which is what a cartoon is, simplified ideas, icons, symbols, and all of that, is very useful for digesting complicated ideas. And you see a lot of companies. We picked up some work doing work like that, where we're taking a complicated idea of this technological product, and we're simplifying it down into a cartoon and it gets the information across in a digestible way. So, yeah, try explaining to them like that, because cartoons are not just kid work, my friend. Cartoons are important. They're a method of communication. If you want to boil it down, that's where it goes. And yes, 367, all the cool kids are doing it. All right. Well, hey guys, you know what? Let me just I'm going to draw a quick power plug here before I sign off. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. It's great being back on streaming. This is why even though I've got this is why I'm still streaming, even though I'm starting a new job in a week. I still want to keep streaming. I felt I made a mistake when I stopped streaming when I started working at Warner Brothers, so I'm going to keep it going because this is a lot of fun. I love talking with you guys. I love talking about these ideas and getting this stuff out there and having these discussions. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're joining me on my YouTube channel and you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe or not, whatever. Bash that bell, smash that like button, all that great stuff. Yeah, there's gonna be more fun stuff coming. Characters and I are definitely putting some plans together because now Chubby Beagle Productions is going to be bringing you some fun stuff, and we're going to be gearing up, and we got plans. And we've got a lot of things we want to do. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys later. Have an awesome Tuesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.